Polynomial Review, Part 3. Number 17. This is a monomial division problem. Our divisor is just one term. What we're going to do is break it apart into 3 separate problems, putting each one over that same denominator. So we're going to have 8a squared b over 2ab minus 10ab over 2ab plus 12ab squared over 2ab. Then we will simplify each one using exponent rules. And so in the fraction form, this is like 3 little problems. We have our numbers, we have our a's, we have our b's. And so for the numbers, we reduce 2 into 8 will go 4 times. For the a's, subtract. We'll leave you a to the first. The b's will cancel on this one. On the next one, it is like 3 little problems. 2 into 10 will go 5 times. We can actually divide this. It divides evenly. So we'll go ahead and divide. The a's will cancel. The b's will cancel. And then last, we have plus. 2 into 12 will go 6. Our a's are going to cancel again, and our b's will subtract the exponent to leave us b to the first. And then when we look at our answers, it looks like our choice is B. Problem 18 is also a monomial division. Just be a little careful with your signs in this one because your monomial divisor has a negative, so you'll have to watch with that. Again, we'll make 3 separate problems. So negative 16x cubed over negative 4x plus 12x squared over negative 4x minus 8x over negative 4x, and then we'll simplify each of those problems. On the first one, you have 2 negatives. That's even. We'll give you a positive. The 4 will divide evenly into 16. Will go 4 times. On the x's, subtract. We'll leave you x squared. The next one, it's going to be negative. You're not going to see both of these signs, so only one negative. That's odd. We'll make it negative. 4 into 12 will go 3 times. On the x's, subtract exponents. We'll leave x to the first. On the next one, just be a little careful here and clean up this minus a negative. Makes plus. 4 into 8 will go 2 times, and the x's are going to cancel. So we have 4x squared minus 3x plus 2. It looks like A to me. Number 19 is an exponent rule problem. We have a product to a power. We will take the power down to each one. So we have x to the 4th squared, y to the negative 3 squared. Power to a power, your rule is keep the base and multiply. So we'll give us x to the 8th and y to the negative 6th. And then we will clean up the negative exponent. Right now these are on the numerator. So the y with the negative exponent is going to have to go to the denominator to get a positive exponent. So x to the 8th over y to the 6th. Choice is B. Number 20 is also an exponent rule problem. So your parentheses are side by side, means multiplication. There is no exponent outside the parentheses. Everything inside is multiplied and in between is multiplied. So we can rearrange this if we would like and pull things that are alike together. So we have negative 3 times negative 4, and then do our x's and our y's. Then we'll go across. For our numbers, they're going to multiply. You have 2 negatives. That's even, so it will be a positive 12. For your x's, you have like bases side by side. Your rule is keep the base and add. but the way you add with different signs is subtract sign of the larger. So it will give us x squared. The y's, they are like bases side by side. Keep the base and add, but the way you add different signs is to subtract sign of the larger, which will actually just give us y to the first. And so even though we had negative exponents as we went, we didn't have any when we finished, so we don't have to do any shifting. We have 12x squared y. Choice is A. 21 is an exponent rule problem. We are in a fraction form, so we have 3 little problems there. For our numbers, we will do plain old reduce. We only have one negative. That's odd, so it will be negative. A common factor of 3. So 3 will go into 3 one time, and 3 into 21 will go 7. For your variables, you have a choice here. You can subtract exponents top to bottom, or you can shift the ones with the negative. If you subtract top to bottom, do it on the side. So you have 5 minus a negative 1. Minus is the rule. And minus a negative actually makes plus. So we end up here with x to the 6th. Positive, so it goes on the numerator. If you had shifted for the x to the negative 1 and brought it up top, they would be side by side and they would add. So it will give you the same answer, the x to the 6th. For the y's, if we're subtracting top to bottom, we have y to the negative 5 minus a negative 2. Minus a negative makes plus. Different signs there. Subtract sign of the larger. A negative exponent, you're going to have to shift it to the denominator, and then it will get a positive exponent. So we're going to put this in the problem. The one we don't have to write because we already have things on the numerator. And we could clean up a tiny bit more. 1 times anything gives you back itself. So 1 times x to the 6th gives us x to the 6th. It doesn't matter where you put that negative. Just make sure you have it there. Out in front or on the numerator are the most common, but you could have it anywhere. Problem 22 is a fraction to a power. You're going to take that outside exponent with the numerator and the denominator, making 2 small problems. And then the numerator you'll need to work out. Product to a power, take the power to each one. So you have 3 squared, x to the 4th squared, which gives us 9. For your variable, keep the base and multiply. And the denominator is already finished. So 9x to the 8th over y squared. 23. This one is a fraction to a power, but we can clean up some inside first. So we should work from the inside out. We have numbers, we have x's, and we have a y. So we're still going to have our parentheses. For our numbers reduce, you have a common factor of 2. 2 will go into 2 one time, 2 will go into 4 2 times. The x's will subtract top to bottom, so you have 4 minus a negative 1. Minus a negative makes plus to give us x to the 5th. Or you could have shifted the one from the denominator up. They will both be on the top, and then they would add. So you get x to the 5th either way. There's only one y. It has a negative exponent, so it needs to shift. It's going to go to the denominator and get a positive 2. We still have the 3 on the outside. We can go ahead and take this 1 out. We don't need it because 1 times x to the 5th is still x to the 5th. So I'm just going to erase it. And now we will take that outside exponent to the numerator and the denominator. So we have x to the 5th to the 3rd. And we have 2y squared to the 3rd. Numerator, power to a power. Keep the base and multiply. Denominator, you have a product to a power. The 3 is going to each one. So we have 2 to the 3rd, y squared to the 3rd. 2 to the 3rd is 8. And this one is a power to a power. Keep the base and multiply. So x to the 15th over 8y to the 6th.